Randall Hughes with God Glorified, commenting on our reading for today for October 26th, in which we read from Matthew 17:18, Mark 9, and Luke 9. Coming down from the mountain after the transfiguration, there was the child that was dumb, had a devil that the disciples were unable to cast out. And it's crazy, but yet it's tough, the words that Jesus said to those disciples. When you stop and look at those stories, those accounts, each of the accounts, he answered and said, this is Mark 9:19, "O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you?" And so he was very harsh. He was talking to the disciples that could not cast out that devil. Whereas just prior in, he sent out and they cast, and maybe I'm thinking of another reading that we haven't got to yet, another in Luke chapter 10. At any rate, that'll be coming up. They will be able to cast out. But he said, "This kind cometh not by prayer and fasting." Said that both in Matthew and Mark's account of that. And so there is value to fasting that we do not understand truly, fully, probably, that gives us power in the spirit realm that we would not have without it. And so it's so important that you spend time and fast, that you ought to make it a part of your Christian habits for every week. You ought to be fasting at least a meal or a day, I believe, and it would help you grow spiritually. And so Jesus mentioned being killed the third day and rising again. They didn't understand. Mentioned that offending a child, and that their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. That statement would have been thought in the Jewish mind that would call to remembrance Daniel chapter 7, verse 9, where it's the Ancient of Days sitting on the throne. That's what they would have been thinking in regards to that there. And so just mentioning that. And then he speaks of better to remove a body part, a hand, a foot, an eye, than to go to hell. And in Mark's rendering, where he said, "Where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched," he mentioned that 3 times. Some see the worm, the eternal worm, as the soul of man, because Job spoke of himself as a worm. What am I? A worm. And it's more than once in Scripture that man is spoken of in that tense. So at any means, Paul said, that I might attain to the resurrection from the dead. And so I want to be saved, and I want to encourage you to be saved, and pray that you're strengthened by these readings. God bless you.